Hi, this is Kimber from Kids Gone Raw Barefootin' channel on YouTube.com, and we are adding one of our first videos today. And what we are trying to get across in our video channel is being able to create food and fast and fun food for kids to eat and for adults to eat so that they're eating smaller portions, superfoods, and raw food and integrating it into their diet. And we usually try to go about 65 to 75% raw, depending on the time of year and what's available, and also sometimes just our food cravings. So we are on the mission to go further into raw, but we're transitioning. So this is going to be, you're going to notice that some of my videos aren't totally raw, or some of the products that I use might not be what other people would prefer them to be, but it's what I can afford, and it's what the average person is going to be able to afford when they first start transitioning. Like when I first went vegetarian, I was wondering, how am I going to be able to afford to get all these really great foods and extra things that I needed or that I thought I needed to balance out what I wasn't getting when I was a meat eater. And what I realized is that by cutting out meat and a lot of products that I didn't know that were bad for me, I freed up that money in my budget to get things that were really, really good for me. And so that's kind of what our videos are going to be about. And we also are part of an in-home daycare here in Phoenix, Arizona, that concentrates on giving kids and parents an option to the standard daycare food. We serve only organic, and we have raw and vegetarian options at our daycare. So a lot of our recipes are going to be actual things that we give to kids when they're here, or an option to the regular menu, so that if parents want, they can give their kids really good food. So the first thing we're going to do is, I always believe in, I try to buy what I really think that we should eat, and then I make from what we have. I just say, okay, this is what we have, let's make something out of it, instead of going, oh my gosh, I have to go to the store to make this recipe and get this and this and that. You should just change the recipe to whatever you have, and then when you have the money and the time to go get a special spice or a special something else, then do that. So today I'm going to make some lettuce wraps, and we're just going to create out of what we have. So here we go. So this is going to be the base. We have the lettuce wraps, and of course, this is my lettuce. I just go to Sprouts or Whole Foods, and whatever's on special, I buy it. I usually save stuff like this, and then I take the little end off, and then I use it for maybe putting in a smoothie. We drink smoothies a lot, or I should say we eat smoothies a lot here in this house. And I think that smoothies are really great for helping kids get a lot of vegetables into their diet. I have a 3-year-old that's going through teething and stuff like that, and he's a lazy chewer like a lot of 3-year-olds are, and they don't want to chew vegetables. Or they look at it and they go, oh, that doesn't look like something that I want. I want fruit all day long. Or something soft or chewy, or they don't want to have to crunch on something. So what I do is I just put the vegetables into the smoothie, and they don't get totally pureed. There's pieces in there, so they're still getting nice chunky fiber and in their digestive system. So here we have just a bunch of leaves that I kind of flattened out so we can make them into little wraps, and we're going to make little burritos out of them. And I took some leftover kale that I used for a smoothie this morning. I made a a maca, cacao, chocolate, coconut oil smoothie this morning with bananas for the kids, and I put a little agave nectar in it, raw organic agave nectar in it. So this is what we have in the fridge right now. We have a little hummus, which would be really, really great for a base for our the meat, the contents of the wrap. So we have some hummus, and we have tomato. We have some avocado that's left over, and then I have another avocado if we need some of that. Let's see, what else do we have? I also have a chayote, which is a vegetable from Central America and Mexico, and we can use some of that in our to put some kind of substance to our little wraps or burritos. We could call them veggie burritos, or we could call them wraps. I like this little looks like a little face. My kids like to play with that sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it in half. I just cut it right down the middle. That seed in there is edible, and so you can just leave it in there. And then what you can do is you can just slice really thin slices, or you can take a potato peeler, because we're talking, I mean, for an adult, you could make whatever you want. I mean, you could make big chunks or whatever. But for kids, they don't want something that's really intrusive. They want something that they don't have to grind or to bite, because then they're going to get turned off by the food. Not all kids. Like my 8-year-old, he'll eat anything. He eats sushi and all kinds of good stuff. So he's not afraid. But sometimes 3-year-olds, or if you're transitioning a family, make it work. Just make it so that the kids will eat it, and that way you can get them to change their palate, and that's really what it's about, is getting kids to try different flavors, and that way their palate starts to change and they start to enjoy healthier flavors. So what I'm doing is just making a little bit of tomato slices, and you could also take the tomato and just take a spoon and cut it out and then mash it up, and that would be fine too. So what we're going to do is just take a little bit of the hummus. This is a garlic onion hummus. So sweet sun-dried tomato hummus is really, really good. We're going to take the avocado, and we're going to mash it like that with a fork and then or a knife, and then dish it out. And then we're going to mix it all together. And I'm going to take a little bit of the tomato seed. And the same thing with this. We can just take our knife and start chopping into that. And you make, like, see how it'll just come out just like that. See? It's all gone. And then you just mash this together, spoon it into the lettuce wrap, and roll it up, and then put that on the plate. And there's your kids' cute little burritos. You can even roll the end of them if you wanted. And that's our dish for today. We're going to make 3 of these per child, and then maybe put a little bit of superfood nut butter dessert, or maybe a little sweet fruit for them to eat with that. Enjoy! Thanks for